Congresswoman Diane Black on that subject, okay? Congresswoman, thanks for joining us again. We do appreciate it. Now, I want to get this clear. A lot of personal health care information under Obamacare is going to be shared between city, state, and federal authorities and the health insurers. It's all going to be shared. Where does that information come from in the first place?
Stuart, I've got to laugh because I was listening to your previous segment where you had these young people talking about the government snooping on them. Well, this is not snooping. This is actually rules that are being set up by HHS. We've just now seen another 253 pages of rules that now verify that there's going to be our personal health information that is going to be utilized in this whole implementation of Obamacare. You know, I've talked to you before about this hub that is being right now put together where you're going to have 5 agencies that are going to be dumping this information. Now we find out even more of government overreach into our very private personal lives, into our financial, into our personal health information, and all kinds of pieces of who we are.
And this information, all this massive information about you and I and everybody else, that is going to be shared. It will be all insurers, state, city, federal authorities. It's all on the same database, and everybody, a lot of people will have access to it. Is that correct?
That is correct. And here is the question. We continue to get more information from the administration, from HHS, about what personal information they're going to get from us. What we don't get is the lack of assurances of where this information is going to be used, who's going to have access to it, do they have security clearances. And so we have another 253 pages that say how they're going to get information, but they don't tell us how they're going to assure us of how it's going to be used.
But would you trust the assurances? I mean, if the administration or anybody came out and said, oh, no, we'll never pry into your personal health information, why should I trust that? This administration or any administration in the future, why should I trust them?
Amen. We have seen what IRS has done, but I want to say that HR 2022, which I encourage people to take a look at, and they can join me in sponsoring that on cosponsor.gov, it does give us some assurances under the perjury of law that they certify that this information is not going to be used for any other purposes than what it is intended, and particularly not to abuse it for political purposes. And so I'm doing my best that I can right at this point in time to give some assurances to people, but Stuart, this should set our hair on fire. This is not snooping. This is out and out. We're going to give the government more access and more control over our lives.
Congresswoman, we always like having you on the show because you know what you're talking about. You were a former emergency room nurse, I believe.
That's right.
Congresswoman Diane Black, we appreciate you being with us. Thank you, ma'am.
You are very welcome. Thank you.
To Nicole.